Good evening, and welcome along to the show. And what a show it is this evening. We've got two of Northern Ireland's finest bands joining us, Silent Running and the Minnows are going to be here, and we'll be finding out about it. Now, still to come, some more local music. The Minnows are going to be with us. We'll be playing their new song. But before all that, let's find out about it. Right, let's have some more music now, and the Minnows are back with a new single from their album Californian Poppy. This is called Come Home Soon. So there we go, brand new music from the Minnows. That's called Come Home Soon. That's from their new album, which is out as well, called Californian Poppy. And I'm pleased to say that the Minnows drummer, Stephen O'Sullivan, joins us in the studio. How are you?
Yeah, good, Robin. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. So we're loving the new single.
Oh, that's great. Thanks.
Tell us the story behind it.
It's really, I suppose I should let Michael answer that because he wrote the lyrics, but it's about love from a distance, long distance love. I think he wrote it for his wife, who he wasn't married to at the time, but he hasn't admitted that, but that's what we think it was for.
So it was about this time last year we had Michael in the studio. Obviously, sadly he couldn't be here today. He's a bit under the weather, isn't he?
Yeah, he's suffering a little bit, I think post-COVID, but he's brave, he'll get through it.
Brilliant. So the album that's from, Californian Poppy, I love the title of the album, and I spoke to Michael about this last time he was on the show, but remind us where the title came from.
Well, Californian Poppy is a flower, but we actually thought the feel of those songs was kind of Americana. There was a certain indie American vibe to the whole album, so that kind of gives it a covering title that, you know, brings in all the songs and the general sound of the album. So yeah, really pleased with that.
Brilliant. Now, I played recently on the radio, I played Time Flies.
Okay.
And I dread to think how many years ago that song came out. How long ago was that?
It's 30 years ago. So it's actually a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know, that time does fly.
Yeah.
We can't believe it's that long ago. People still talk to us about it, people still want to hear it, so that's good. And we still play it, but yeah, it's crazy to think it's that long ago.
It's still a great radio song, and I even heard Terry Hooley was playing it on his show the other night on the radio. And of course, it was Terry that kind of started the whole process for you, wasn't it?
It was. Terry kind of had seen us play, liked us, was enthusiastic, wanted to push us, took our records to London. You know, told lots of people about us, probably annoyed people like yourself to play the single, and it worked. You know, he was a really good advocate and still is. So when you have people like Terry behind you, it makes a big difference, you know. So we were lucky with that, you know, and we still have a good relationship with Terry, so that's good.
Back then, did you ever imagine you'd still be making records 30 years later?
We didn't really think about it. You're right, I don't think we did. But we're still friends and we're still recording, as you can see, and you know, there's no plans to stop anytime soon, so that's good.
When I talk to people about the Minnows, and I don't know how you're going to take this, but I always say you're one of these bands who had the potential to make it really big and should have been really big, but it never really happened for you. Were you disappointed by that?
Yeah, I think it'd be false to say we weren't disappointed by certain things happening for us, but a lot of things are outside your control.
Yeah.
So you can let that kind of ruin everything, or you can just keep doing what you love, which is making music, and we're still doing that. So we don't measure it anymore by money or anything like that. We're measuring it by how good our songs are, you know, what we put into those songs, what sounds we might do, what things we might do next. So we are lucky in that sense. The success is that we're friends and we're still able to produce music 30 years later. And people are still listening, which is good.
What about live gigs? Any coming up?
Nothing planned, but we have done some rehearsals and we'd like to do live gigs. With COVID, it was kind of one of those things where we didn't quite know when we'd get the chance. So we kind of put that on the back burner and recorded some more material. And we are looking at it maybe towards the end of the year, but yeah, you'll probably be the first to know.
Brilliant. Let us know as soon as that happens, and we'll let everybody else know. Of course, I mean, there's still a great music scene here in Belfast at the moment. And, you know, when you think about it, there really has been for the past 30 years. We have had a lot of great bands come out of Belfast, haven't we? We have. I mean, there always seems to be a constant flow of creativity. I think that there's a dedication to songwriting, you know, doesn't stop. There's always new acts coming up. You look at some of the really successful acts, you know, Snow Patrol, etc. Brilliant. Yeah. And I think that that's not going to stop. You know, there's just this creative kind of vibe in the city that won't go away. And you always keep your eye on what's happening, what's new, what's current as well? We try to, but obviously it's difficult. There's so much. But it's good for us to listen to new things. For example, tonight I'm going to see War on Drugs in Dublin. You know, a great American band who really have influenced us over the last couple of years. But you're always on the lookout for a new sound or something different, yeah. Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Okay, I'm going to play another one of your songs now. I'm going to play the other one from the album that was out last year. It's called Where Have All the Good Times Gone? This was obviously written during the pandemic as well, wasn't it? It was. It was kind of just reflective of the difficult times everyone was having and hoping that would change. So yeah, the song, it received a lot of what would you say, praise, because it captured that mood. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, Stephen, thank you for coming in and joining us. Thanks, Robin. The best of luck with the new single as well. Thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. So let's hope we can hear the Minnows back out on tour sometime very soon. But in the meantime, from the album Californian Poppy, here comes Where Have All the Good Times Gone?
Where were you when the band struck up? to say goodbye.
And that's all we have time for on the show this week. A big thank you to all of my guests, and I'll see you back same time next week. Bye-bye.